Can you hear us, Bruce?
Yeah, I got the video going, but muted myself. I'm good.
Good. Hi, Annie. Your hair's getting long.
I need a cut.
I like it.
How is everybody?
Good. Just wondering. I never know unless someone writes me a message if they're showing up or not. I know of two excused folks, Sophie, just so you know, it's Chris is out of town, Councilor Rivera,
Okay.
Emily Kaltenbach.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
And other folks I will see.
Okay. Yeah, and it's my understanding that Val is actually the one who officially facilitates. I'm here as backup support. So I hope she'll join us because this is my first rodeo. And, but if she doesn't join
I
us,
can help you. Yeah.
okay. Happy to assist however I can.
We kind of do this weird, like both the chairs help to facilitate, and then so does Val.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Kind of group effort. But let's see. Huh. Valeria has tried 2 Zoom links and they don't work. Julie can well forward.
There we go. She must have just found the right one.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay.
Hey there.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Sorry
like
about the link confusion.
Yeah, I was like bouncing between 2 links and I was getting kicked out and it wasn't working, but I'm happy to be here now. Thank you. It's good to see everybody.
But Lydia, where was the link that didn't work?
It was in an email and also on Prime. And they
Prime
both, yeah, one has a passcode, the other one has a password and a passcode. And they're different links because one ends in 0987 ? And the other one ends in ZZ09.
Oh dear, that's not good.
So is that Sophie?
Yes, it's nice
Hi,
to
Sophie.
see you.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you again.
Good to see you. I have the owl set up here in the conference room, which I may unplug if no one shows up, or I might just go off screen because the video is a little odd. I am looking at you. It doesn't look like it, but it's very nice to see you. And again, I'm sorry about the confusion with the link. I'm just looking to the calendar invite. That's what I clicked.
Yeah, that's where I clicked too. And then there was another email that came out. Hi, Annie and Bruce. Good to see you guys as well.
Did you all, the rest of you go to the link that Julie Sanchez sent us? Okay.
The one I used was dated the 18th. And it was sent by Julie.
Got it.
And it just had a Zoom link and it brought me right to you.
I'm searching for that email that she sent. I may have deleted it.
I have it if we need it.
Okay, great.
Are you thinking of sending it out again just in case?
I was, but now I realize I don't have, she blind copied folks, so I actually don't have the total list on hand here.
All right.
If I'm looking at that correctly. Oh, there's Mary Louise.
Good.
That email I'm speaking of was only sent to the 2 counselors and Val and myself.
Yeah, everybody was blind copied on it. The
Okay.
members were blind copied now.
Okay,
But I have it on hand just in case. Let's see. Ah. Gina.
Here we go.
Break. All right, let's see. Annie, do we say your last name right? I always say Rasquin,
That's fine.
or is it
Renee.
Raskin? Raskin.
I use both. It's originally Raskin, but now no one can pronounce it. So I either use Raskin or Raskin. I'm not
Raskin.
fussed. But
No?
Thank you. No, I'm
So
not.
say it the way it's supposed to be said.
No one says it. Raskin.
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 Is it French?
Raskin. Yeah, it is.
Aha, Annie Raskin.
Annie Josephine Raskin.
Ah,
Oh, Annie Josephine.
Mr.
Raskin.
Jolie.
Love that.
I just came back from there for a family wedding, in fact.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's where you went,
You should
right?
introduce yourself just like that all the time. Annie
Oh, that's
Josephine.
nice.
Raskin.
comes Marcella.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're missing Gino.
And Monica.
And Monica.
Monica.
I want to say Monica might not be, I feel like she sent me a message about it. What did she say?
And Emily's also
Oh.
excused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And Chris is excused. He's out of town.
Okay. Where am I? Right here. Oh, Chris. is that-
Val, while we're waiting, would it be possible for you to just send a in a chat to me the names that should go into the different breakout rooms? And then I'll be
Oh,
able to
absolutely.
facilitate that at that time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So Monica's out of town, work
Okay.
related.
Thank you for that.
Thanks.
All right, so. Okay, so I think we, 1, 2, 3. And Mary Louise is with us.
Mhm.
Do we have captions on? Sophie?
You know, I actually
No.
done that before, but let's see if I show captions. There we go.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Captions are on. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Hi, Mary Louise.
If I
Okay.
could click off this unmute button, sorry. It's so good to see you. Thank you, and thank you for just being here with us. Sophie, you're the best.
Oh my goodness, you are the best, and thank you very much. It is quite a privilege. Now, because I've not supported directly with one of these before, I guess I just see if how we want to get started. Councillor Villarreal, or
Yeah, I can go ahead and start it. I was just waiting to hear from Gino, but we can start it. He's our missing link here, or one member left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then I can go ahead and officially call the Community Health and Safety Task Force meeting for November 1st, 2022 at 5:39 to order. And I think who's going to do the roll call for us?
I'm
Vale?
happy to. Welcome everybody. So our roll call for tonight. Rene Villarreal, Councilwoman Rene. Yes.
Present.
Bruce Finger.
Here.
Annie Raskin.
Present, perfect.
Mary Louise Romero.
I'm here.
And Marcela, are you here? I think I see you.
I'm here.
Yay! And in supportive roles, we have Sophie and Valeria. Gino will be joining us shortly, and excused for the evening is Chris Rivera, Emily, and Monica. Yeah?
Yes, Emily Kaltenbach and Monica.
And
Alt.
Monica.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
We do have a quorum, although we're not making any decisions tonight, but thank you all for making time. I think we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our October 18th meeting. Were there any changes from anybody? Staff or members? No? Okay, can I get a motion then?
Sure, motion to approve.
Excellent. And
Second,
how about a second?
second,
Go ahead, Bruce.
second.
Second, got it. All right, since we are, I guess we'll do a roll call since we're all virtual.
Okay, roll call. Renee Villarreal,
Yes,
Bruce Finger,
Yes,
Annie Raskin,
Yes,
Mary Louise Romero,
Yes.
and Marcela Diaz, I want to say, yes? No. Marcela, remind me your last name, my friend.
yes.
Diaz, that's okay, I was right. Good. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Marcela. Okay,
All right. We are moving right along, communications from the co-chairs. I'm trying to think if there's anything I wanted to share that you don't already know. I think I'm good. I don't have anything unless folks have questions for me. And as you know, Chris is out of town, so won't be with us tonight.
mhm.
So I actually don't have anything this evening for communications.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. I do have a couple of updates. Just to put it out there in case anybody wants to join. On November 7th at 12:30 p.m., we will have 30 by 30 initiative presentation and discussion with Maureen. So if anyone would like to join this presentation, please let me know so that I can send you a Zoom invite and the link. Also, we are confirmed for December 6th. We have, hold on, let me just make sure. We said, not December 6th, sorry, November 15th. We'll have Brian Cerna from Cerna Solutions providing a presentation on the 988 resources. That's going to be the next meeting in November. And FYI, we've got December 6th in terms of this calendar year as the last quote unquote available date for a presentation, should any of you want to coordinate one. And let's see, last little update. I am in the process of organizing your digital file so that as we step into this last quarter of, well, the fourth quarter of this calendar year, you'll have access to all of the resources that you've shared with each other as a task force, as working groups, presentations for learning sessions, slide decks, research that each of you have done throughout the course of this last year. Everything will be organized so that you have easy access to reference as we start to work on, these potential recommendations, proposed recommendations in fourth quarter or updates in fourth quarter, so that you're not having to comb through emails or anything like that. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm complete unless anyone has any questions or concerns.
Thanks
Bill,
so
you
much.
sent out a email. It was the 10th of September. And is that what we respond to be invited for the 7th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And if you confirm with me now that you'd like to go, I'm happy to send you that invite.
I think I did. I said yes.
Okay, so let me see. We've got, yeah, you already said yes. You've got a little green check mark
How about
next to your
that?
name. Mhm.
So this is a presentation to the Policies and Practices Working Group, and anyone that's part of the task force can join us for that meeting. So I know that I think Annie and Gino and Bruce and I are definitely
Mhm.
signed up for that.
Yes, I have you all here. Beautiful.
Valeria, could you tell us more about the presentation for November 15th? You said Brian Serna with Serna Solutions. Is that the name
Yeah,
of the business?
That's the consulting firm. 988 Resources, which I believe is, hold on one second so I don't miss.
I think it's a crisis
Yes.
hotline.
It is. Oh, my internet is moving very slow, but it is a crisis hotline.
Great. Okay.
Let's see. And Julie is looped in. So once we issue the agenda and everything for it, the Zoom link and everything for it, Brian will be part of that email communication. Crisis Lifeline, 24/7 lifeline for emotional, mental, or substance use distress. That's, yeah. And I believe either Julie or Elizabeth Glantz sent an info packet. And if you haven't seen it, I can resend it.
An info packet about the presentation.
Just like a PDF about what 988 is. Not, I don't think it's the actual slide deck for the presentation, but it's like some info packet. So I'll look it up and there's a link to it as well, which is, I'll put it here on the chat. It's 988newmexico.org.
Okay.
Super easy to reference. Okay. And let's see, I think that's it from my end. Unless anybody has any questions.
Sophie, did you want to reintroduce yourself officially?
Sure. Thank you. I'm so privileged to have just finished my first month in the Youth and Family Services Division, working under Julie. And yeah, my title is Program Manager with a focus on violence, as you know from the presentation that I gave before. So I am elated about the opportunity, and I really look forward to however we will be collaborating. Also, I have a very strange email address, which I can put in the chat if anyone wants to try to contact me. It's like a comic book email address Xandar because they gave me an X as a middle initial, which I don't have.
Hmm. That's weird. That's great. And so Sophie, when you say focus on violence, are we saying violence prevention or is it just?
Absolutely. It is violence prevention. So that really begins with deepening our understanding of our violence problem. I am right now working to translate the recommendations that resulted from the research and development process from last November till June, translating those into a strategic plan, a 5-year strategic plan. So that's just in draft form right now. I'm sure we'll be offering some more updates on that in the future, but yes, violence prevention comprehensively across all levels of prevention in the community.
Excellent. And Julie Sanchez is out of town for work and Sophie's covering. And I'm just curious, Sophie, will you be joining us for other task force meetings potentially?
I do not know yet.
Okay. We hope so.
Thank you so much. I would love to.
All right. Anything else, Sophie, that you want to share?
Um,
Any staff announcements or anything we should know about?
Just that Julie asked me to ask you all if you have ever invited Kate Field to a meeting, and Annie, I see you nodding your head. Has she presented with you before? Because we can help facilitate that.
She has not, but I think that's a superb recommendation. I think she's gonna be
Okay.
Great to have her.
Wonderful.
Can you tell
Renee,
us more? Go ahead, Annie or Sophie or.
Annie, do you want to go ahead?
Well, I know she works really closely with MIHO, the Alternative Response Unit. She's the director of I think the treatment facility where they bring a lot of she's the new clinical director and came from the fire industry, but I think she's very informed and I think would be helpful to us because it's one of the safety nets in our community that she's
Absolutely.
really grown.
Right.
Sophie, what would you add?
Just that she, it's my understanding, oversees she's clinical supervisor for the Santa Fe Crisis Center. And so that's the, round the clock center that has been created. It's run by New Mexico Solutions. So they deploy crisis intervention teams, responding to behavioral health calls. That's as much as I know, and I'm eager to learn more too. So I can pass on the suggestion that we do invite her to a future meeting if that's the group's interest.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think if you all have, if you want to just let us know if that's something that would be, did you say Kate Fields is her last name? Fields, okay.
Yes.
If that works for us, that could potentially be the next meeting, or if there's something else that working groups had talked about that were related to presentations we haven't gotten to yet, we want to make sure to prioritize those. I don't know all what you all have discussed in other working groups. So yeah, well, I think we should put a placeholder for that for sure. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Renee, would that be the early December meeting then, since we have? Okay.
December 6th, potentially. Unless there was something that I don't know about related to some of the things that we had scheduled or had discussed in the working groups. And we do want to prioritize the community survey and just making, not just the community engagement survey, but just the plan, the outreach plan. So I don't know if Dr. Sanchez could join us soon too. I thought he was joining us tonight for some reason, but I think Marcela is going to cover the next item on the agenda. Should we move into that? Because I know Marcela's driving right now. We good to move on to the next item on the agenda, presentations?
Absolutely. Marcela, are you with us?
I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yay. Yes, yes, we do, my friend.
Here, you can even see me, but I'm all masked up. I'm driving, but luckily I'm not driving. Someone's driving for me.
Good.
So Dr. Sanchez, has been meeting with our subgroup a couple of times, and we've been in a back and forth around the initial draft of the survey, but he couldn't be on tonight because he's caught between other webinars. And we do have a good, strong draft. I want to remind folks that, and then please, Mary Louise, if you have anything to add, please do. But I want to remind folks that I think that there's confusion even amongst counselors about what this survey could be. Our goal is to really reach out through this whole community engagement process to people who are more impacted, frontline community members, people impacted by the criminal justice system, people impacted by public safety issues within the system. And so basically, he's going to be able to get this done as soon as we formulate the final draft, and he's doing that this week. He says that he should be able to get it done by the end of the year and would be able to do some preliminary results from this piece of the community engagement in January and be able to present it to all of us in January. And that will help determine what focus group questions we can start with and other community processes through the second phase of this community engagement piece. And then the third phase would be the video projects with the youth, and that has been submitted for final IRB approval to UNM, and he hopes that fairly soon all three portions of this community engagement process receive IRB approval at UNM. So that's where we're at right now. But as soon as he wants to get this into the field after the election because people are very surveyed fatigued right now, and it's going to be a combination of telephone interviews and online interviews. 300 interviews will be random in the community, or not interviews, surveys, and then 200 we get to put out to our communities that generally don't have a strong voice on these issues. And so what we would like as a working group is for all of us to start thinking about where we want to send that online link, not telephone survey, an online survey, what community groups we would like to send that link to get those 200 more, not random, but more focused in our different community groups, organizations on that. So that's kind of that is where we're at on this. So timeline, I covered. Draft survey, almost in its penultimate phase. I can share what we have with you all now for input. However, I like that in our working groups, we can kind of work on it without it being public first. And so I don't know how we should proceed. Do we want to share this within working group where, we're still, because it's still in draft form and it's not a public document for public consumption yet. So I'm reluctant to just put it in the chat without working that all out with you guys. So that's a question I have for you, Renee, Councilor Villarreal. And then Marie Louise, do you have anything to share from our working group?
No, I think you
I hope
covered
that
it
was
pretty well.
clear.
Other than I think that the UNM, the venue that we chose to support us in this process is probably top notch. I think that we're going to get what I'm hoping that we're going to get the questions answered from the community that we really need in order to move forward. So that's it.
I also, in our process, and only Mary Louise and I are on this call, but it was obviously Monica and Emily and Councilor Rivera who kind of, pitched in and really helped formulate this. But I want to remind our whole, our whole group, as well as the public, that the purpose of this community engagement process really is where people are at, not necessarily specifically on like police policies or practices, but really what are some of the deeper issues in our community and what is some of the ideas that people have and are open to when it comes to reimagining community safety. And so that's really the tack that we're taking, even with this initial online and telephone survey. So with that, I will throw it back to Councilor Villarreal to see how she thinks we should proceed so that we can continue this in draft form before it becomes a public document.
Thanks, Marcela. Excited to see the survey and you said that this would be that Dr. Sanchez and his team will be able to launch the survey, the online survey, and a combination of some telephone interviews by let's see, we're in November, so they would start taking place in December potentially.
He says that, within a few weeks after the election, so like half of November and December, for the first 300, so it's 500 surveys. 300 would be telephone surveys that they would randomly generate in the community, and also like an open an online survey that people can answer the questions online, and they know how to put that randomly out in our city. And then in addition to that, we get to send the link to the survey, a code to the link to the survey, to 200 people that are within, it could be Somos and YouthWorks, and I don't know, it could be a whole array of community groups that could get, 25 surveys each if they could do that. And so he thinks he can collect the data by the end of December, and by January, sometime in the middle or late January, have just a report with some of his analysis on it for our task force. And then that would help us determine how to proceed with the focus groups, which are more qualitative, of course.
Got it. Great. That sounds great. Was there consideration for November and December because there's holidays, and does that help because people are around or they're not around? I'm just curious if the holiday aspect, is it helpful, or is it, did you all talk about that potentially?
We didn't ask, and maybe if Mary Louise recalls something from our last meeting with him that I don't, please chime in, Mary Louise. What I know is that Somos, we did a 1,000 person telephone survey that was 20 minutes long with Gabe last year up to December 20th. And he got 1,000 people to respond. I mean, his outfit did BSP research. So I think that's, we didn't ask him specifically if this was a good time or a bad time, but I think, as Mary Louise say, this group knows what they're doing. So I don't think he would pursue it if he thought people would not want to participate. He did say we got to wait for the fatigue from the surveys that we're all getting on the election to pass.
Yep, that sounds good. In terms of sharing it with us, I'm wondering if there's a way, since we're going to be going into breakouts this evening, that we can look at it there in our breakouts. I don't know how Marcela has a copy of it, right? What's the best?
It's a Google Doc that our subcommittee has been able to opine on and offer ideas. And so he worked on it this weekend based on some of our suggestions last week. And for anybody who's watching, it's not that, we do want input from like Kira and others. It's
Yes.
just, it's not in its it's like in its penultimate phase right now. And so we want to have committee members be able to work on it a little bit more before we get final approbation by whoever it is that you think we need to get final approbation by.
Yep, I totally understand. That makes sense. That's why I'm wondering, since we'll go into breakouts, that we could see that in our breakouts, because that's separate from the public meeting, so that we'd have an ability to look at it a little bit more closely. Is that possible? I don't know who has it to be able to, so that
I
we,
have the link. It's a Google Doc link and I can share the link. If I share it on the chat, then it's on the chat. I can also try to email it to you. I can email it to you because I obviously have good reception right now. I think
Great.
you can see me.
I think if you share it in the chat, then we would have access to the chat. Is that right, Valeria or Sophie, when we go into the breakouts?
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to do that? And I don't know about the community engagement working group. You all have already looked at it, but I think our policies and practices group, we were talking about that in the last meeting, how to integrate some of the things that we're exploring, and we've been gathering data on in certain topics, right? And how they actually potentially could fit into the
Mhm.
survey questions. So maybe you can share that with us, Marcela, and then we'll go into breakouts and then be able to discuss it. Did anyone have questions?
Can we
Sorry.
do like since there's only Mary Louise and I, can we do like a co-breakout and just discuss that at the beginning of our breakout?
Yes.
Okay, when we're safely in our breakouts.
Safely, our safe spaces. Yes. So
And again, I just want to reiterate, it's only so that every task force member has an opportunity to engage with it before we give it to whoever it needs to see it.
yes, it's only fair. I think that's good. We want to get a chance to look at it in our working group as well. So do you want to share that, Marcela? And then before we go into the breakout sessions, is there any questions about the survey and the kind of next steps for Marcela or Mary Louise? No? Okay. Did we want to do any matters from the task force before we go into breakout, so we don't have to jump back into the public meeting and we can go home and eat after?
That would be
Or
great.
those of you that are home, you could just eat right there.
I think that's a good idea. Working group updates, matters from the task force, and just noting that November 15th at 5:30 is our next meeting time. So yeah, go for it, team. Matters from the task force.
Is there anything? Oh, one thing I guess I should have said this earlier. We did get approval to extend our work till June, end of June 2023. It passed at the last council meeting, governing body meeting last week.
Yay!
So that was good. I don't know if anyone was there listening or checking in. It was pulled from the agenda for some questions. If you're curious about that, we can, yeah, you can ask me about that. What were some of the concerns? But other than that, yeah, it passed unanimously. So we're onward to the next phase of our work.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, Valeria.
Very exciting.
And I think that's it. Anything from our working group? I don't know, Sophie, well, we probably wouldn't be able to talk to you more about the kind of where we're moving forward with our work and questions that we had as follow-up to staff, and we could talk about it in our working group, but staff does have it, and Julie's been helping to kind of get the information that we're seeking, or at least help facilitate where that information needs to come from. So that's good. I don't have a date yet as to when we'll meet, but we could talk about that in our working group.
Beautiful.
And Sophie, maybe you want to join us for a little bit in the working group. if you, in our working group for policies and practices tonight?
Yes, I would be happy to. I just want to clarify, did you in fact want to split up into two groups? Or just stay all together? I understand that the breakout session gives you a different level of privacy. I just don't know that I can only create one group, in which case I would probably need to be the second breakout group.
Okay. Marcelo, were you saying combining them?
Yeah, if we could,
Okay,
you could create two separate groups, and I know that that stops recording, but if Mary Louise or I could join temporarily, or you could join us, or we could join you in one of those groups would be great.
sounds
Okay.
good. However you can do that, or maybe do, yeah, I don't know. I don't, you're asking the
Let's
wrong
see.
person.
Well, I think for starters, I'll create two working groups with all of you and one with just myself alone, just to see how that goes. If there's any way that I can join you with that invitation, I'll try to do that. Thank you. So here goes.
Hold on, Sophie, was there anything else that folks had? Any updates, matters from the task force before we jump in?
Doesn't sound like it. But Sophie, when you do the two breakout rooms and you put yourself in the second one, if you will, once we break out, you can, next to your name, there'll be like a little drop down arrow and it will say join a group, and then you can choose which group you want to join.
Okay, great. And I
Yeah.
just clicked on it and see that actually making one breakout group is an option. So I'll try that
Perfect.
first.
Okay. Yay.
Yay, technology is with us today.
Yay!
So far. Okay, here we go.
Don't jinx us.
Here we go.